Hall Effect gaming keyboards used to be so expensive, but companies like Epomaker are changing the game.
And they were nice enough to sponsor this video and send over their HE80 and HE68 Lite Hall Effect gaming keyboards that start at $49 and work their way up to $79, making some really awesome price performance Hall Effect keyboards that you can find for your setup. And not only were they nice enough to sponsor this video, they sent over the keyboards and told us, hey, we want you all to give your honest opinion on these keyboards. What do you think about them? Tell your viewers which one you like the best, and just go into some gaming and see what they're all about, show the software and features like that. So shout out again to Epomaker for sponsoring this video. Well, let's not waste any more time. We'll talk about the budget option, the HE68 Lite, which is really cool. $49 for a Hall Effect keyboard. That is really cheap. We'll see what this thing's all about and then work our way up to the HE80, which has a lot of cool features as well. Now, first up, we have the Epomaker HE68 Lite, which comes in at $49.99, features their Epomaker Clear magnetic switch. It is a 65% 68 key keyboard with an 8,000 hertz polling rate and 128 kilohertz scan rate. It does come with shine-through PBT keycaps with a 2-layer ARGB backplate and does support DKS and SOC-D.
And this keyboard comes in at $49.99, which is pretty crazy because I remember not that long ago unboxing things like the nice Wooten keyboards that were well over $100 for Hall Effect.
Yeah, Hall Effect, if you guys don't know, are magnetic switches that allows you to get the most optimal response time in gaming. You don't have to wait for a real physical switch to bottom out and go back up to basically signal an activation. You get that instant responsiveness that allows you to be much more precise in games, and that's why these budget keyboards are really awesome for gamers.
What's really cool about analog and Hall Effect is it's more like a controller in a sense, where it can basically pick up the signal at any point of the travel, so you can actually change when your keys activate. That's pretty cool.
Now, one thing is, we looked at these keyboards before the video. We did add this strap, which is kind of a signal of some other companies out there on the market. It's just kind of an aesthetic thing. I mean, you can carry your keyboard around if you want to. It does work. As you guys can see, we have the white version of this keyboard. It does come in black as well. And inside the box, we get
white braided cable, which is a nice touch. Looks pretty good. So USB-C, of course, to USB-A. So if you want to go get yourself an artisan cable, you definitely can, but this one will definitely suffice.
Yeah, here are their magnetic switches we were talking about, which is their own in-house switch. Again, I'm not really sure if they manufacture these directly themselves or it's like a rebrand type of situation, but it is a cool clear switch that is very nice.
Yeah, nice, kind of like a thock sound to it. So it looks like the actual brand, if anyone's curious, it's HAIMU.
Haimu? I think Haimu would be it, yeah.
But it's a box style switch, and what makes it Hall Effect too, and you can just tell by looking, is there's no stems because Hall Effect actually has the sensor built into the PCB. But yeah, just to see if this actually should be hot swap because they gave us extra switches. So let's go ahead and pull a keycap off.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Here we go.
There you go.
All right, the moment of truth. This is always like so scary, so I think it should be this way.
Nice.
Oh, that was nice and easy.
I think that's a beauty of it. You don't have the actual hard stems,
yeah.
And that makes it very easy to hot swap. And you can put pretty much any Hall Effect switch in there that is standardized.
Yeah, so there's some really nice ones. I know a lot of people really like the Jades and stuff like that, but I gotta say, so far in first impression, I'm liking the sound and the feel of these, so I don't even know if I'd want to replace these.
Yeah, and I will say, the thing is, this is a $49 keyboard, so first impression in terms of build quality, they definitely went plastic all the way around, which is to be expected. I mean, they're trying to save money here. They want to have this awesome technology, but then also have a keyboard that is, well, more affordable to manufacture, but it doesn't feel so cheap when you're actually using it like a keyboard. That's the biggest thing with keyboards. You can get into the enthusiast space, and you get a really nice metal keyboard that feels great in the hands, and does add a bit to the typing and gaming experience. But this one, when it's on its table doing its job, it feels fine.
Yeah, now it is only single height, which is interesting. So if you want to change the height, you would need to add something to the back of it or something along those lines because there's no flip out feet, but it does have anti-skid, so this thing is not going anywhere. And Jonah actually went ahead and put on this here, so this is like your little strap, but it's cool. It does come with this. It's like a block off plate, so you can put this on here in case you're not into the whole strap fad.
So yeah, this does come with the actuation adjustment via the software, all the way down to 0.01 millimeters of actuation, so you can basically just go boop, and that actuates a keystroke. I've tried it before, sometimes it can be incredibly sensitive, but we'll show you guys the software later. The only thing with the HE68 Lite is the software is downloadable, and the HE80 uses online software. I'll be honest, I really wish both of them were online software because I really like new keyboards and online software. Yeah. It's super nice, you don't have to have anything on your computer, but we'll show you guys both of those softwares here in a minute. We're just gonna hook this thing up and show you guys what the RGB looks like.
So Matt's plugging in the keyboard. Jonah actually already set the keyboard to white to get a very nice cohesive color scheme here. And this looks pretty good. So yeah, pretty respectable level of lighting. Not like a ton of shine through in the keycaps, but I also think that, yeah, it's because we have studio lighting here. So I don't know if Jonah's able to see it on camera now, maybe a little bit. I can definitely see it. Now, one thing that Jonah pointed out is, yes, you are going to need software with these keyboards if you want to get into like the really nitty-gritty stuff like changing actuation and stuff, but they do have the basics where you can actually go through. You can change colors, you can change brightness, other things like that. Of course, with these keys here. So I'm not even sure, so it's like on, off. Question mark mode, maybe.
Page up to do mode, and then I think page down does color.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm assuming one of these might, brightness. There also is probably speed if you go right and left, depending on, speed. This would be the mode I'd run right here.
Red speed.
Red flashy. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And of course you got like the smooth RGB. I mean, every mode you could possibly want. I mean, this isn't that cheap RGB that we used to see on keyboards where it's like static. This is as many color options as you want.
You probably heard it a lot from us, and even though this is a sponsored video, the keyboard space has dramatically improved, especially in the budget department. The keyboards we'd buy at this price point, I was trying to find one of the videos from a roundup back in like 2019, 2020. They were like blue switch keyboards that sounded horrendous. This nowadays sounds great, and we're gonna prove it to you guys with a typing test, and then we're gonna show you guys the software and how it works, and then we'll do some gaming to see what we think about it.
So we got the Epomaker software downloaded, and what was it called?
You basically just go to Epomaker's website, go under all their products, and you look up the specific model. This is just called their General's Driver is what they call it. And it was for a wide range of different keyboards.
Now, one of the things we had to do is it automatically was in Chinese, so we'd have to change it to English, which, after using some translate, it was pretty easy to find right up top there. But there's a lot of settings here. So just in the keyboard settings, you can obviously customize each individual switch to do whatever you want. But as you can see here, we can do things like macros, functions. I mean, there's a lot. Like, oh look, there's even macro settings where you can have it do like loops and stuff like that.
Some little hotkeys, basically.
Yeah. This is the cool part for a lot of people. You can change actuation of individual keys. I mean, that's like insane. So if you look, you can see like each one has a number written next to it. So you can change when the key actually triggers. And of course, you can even make it to where it triggers on rebound as well if you want to have like a kind of like a multi-trigger situation. A lot of people will set the WASD keys as a lower actuation, but keep everything else a little bit higher so that mistypes and stuff like that aren't quite as easy to do. And then this is kind of cool. So after changing the keyboard switch, select the key of the corresponding switch.
Oh, so you can pick the switches, and I guess it'll adjust the actuation based on what they recommend, I guess?
I guess so. That's interesting. So it's crazy how like there's not that many switches yet in this space.
Because Magnetic Jade, Jade Pros, Jade Gaming, Heavenly King, Magneto, and the Ice Jade. So like popular magnetic switches.
Now we also have advanced key settings.
Okay, so what this is dynamic keystroke, which allows you to basically, in simple terms, make multi-actuations on one key. And the way it was explained to us is you basically would hit W, and at 0.5, it would actuate just a W keystroke. But then if you go down to, let's say, 0.2 or 0.1, from there, it will do something else. You can make it do like W plus shift. That is way beyond the gaming scope that I would ever customize, but for those who want to have a very precise way to use their keyboard, and maybe there's a certain game that allows you to take advantage of that fully, like you could probably adjust like a throttle like on a car or something, to where like different levels will change what you speed up or like change gears or stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff you could do with it, but it is definitely complex.
Oh, and speaking of what you just said, that's another cool thing about Hall Effect in general is the analog part of it. If you're playing like Forza game, I know a lot of times we'll test these in benchmarks, and it's not the most satisfying playing on a keyboard because you're basically like, if you want to turn, it's just all or nothing, right? As soon as you press that key, it's all or nothing with the turn. If you want to go forward, it's all or nothing. With an analog keyboard, you can actually treat it like a controller where it's almost like a trigger. So you can actually adjust speed, you can do partial turns, so that's a pretty cool thing. This is the last part that I thought was interesting. So the keyboard was set to 125 hertz.
Really?
As Jonah kindly said, crank that thing. So we're now at 8K polling rate.
Especially since it's a wired keyboard, like why not?
We'll see if it causes any sparkies or anything, I don't know. But then obviously here we have function layer settings. So this is gonna be, it's a small keyboard, right? So if you were to press function, you can add multiple layers to where if you want like H to also do something else, you can. So that's pretty cool, especially since you don't even have a function row on this keyboard. With macro editing.
There it is, how you build your own macros.
This is popular.
Oh yeah, built-in macros within their software. Let's see if they load up. Which ones are they gonna be?
No data. Never mind. Darn, not yet. But yeah, it looks like maybe at some point this will have other people's macros on it, maybe for certain games and stuff. It's like a whole menu that they don't have anything yet.
It's like a community share, so or maybe you need to register for an account or something to access it. But we're on like an offline mode.
Yep, and then yeah, macro editing was that, and then light settings. So this is where, gosh, you can do everything. I mean, we can change the brightness, the speed. We can do individual keycaps in terms of what each one does. Yes, like I can pick a key.
You can just pick a key and just change it to whatever color you want.
Oh yeah, you see the tiny little amount of blue.
Tiny little blue he added there.
That's all you get. We're not going to customize each one. And then you can have saves. So my works, so you can save these settings.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's a lot on here. Oh, and we can do firmware and stuff straight from the software.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, a lot of options here. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to plug up the keyboard to a gaming PC and actually game on it. We'll see what the keyboard feels like and get our impressions on what the 68 key feels like before we switch over to the HE80. And then you at home can decide which one you like the best, and we will as well, because hey, these are some pretty awesome keyboards and they're very customizable.
All right, we're testing out the HE68 Lite, and playing some CS at, what are we at, 320 hertz?
320 hertz, 1080p. So this is super high refresh rate. We're gonna actually feel some of the actuation, because again, some of you might be gaming at like 60 hertz or 144 hertz. You might not notice the difference unless you actually have the high refresh rate to back it up.
Yeah, and we definitely have it here. I mean, this is pretty crazy. This is definitely probably the most premium gaming experience I've ever felt, especially with like mini LED and everything. And the keyboard's so nice. I mean, it feels really good. Like Matt said, it is plastic, and it's weird because I'm not the biggest like, you're not picking up your keyboard. Why does it weighing 10 pounds matter? But you do kind of feel it. Once you've used enough keyboards, you realize even when it's just sitting there, and when you're bottoming out those keycaps, you can kind of feel a little bit of the plasticness. But it's so cheap. Like, it's literally $50 and it's Hall effect. So like, we're getting the best technology in a somewhat cheaper form factor, but I can't really complain about that.
My turn.
Matt's turn. It's Mike's turn.
All right, guys, my turn. And yeah, it's, again, I'm gonna play a little bit here just to get 100% the vibe, but the thing is with me and Hall effect keyboards, when they first came out, I always felt like we got to the point with mechanical keyboards where they were sounding so good. And obviously, yes, performance-wise, they're not as good as a Hall effect keyboard, but the Hall effects didn't sound great because they just weren't built very well. But that has changed dramatically, or even this one, it sounds great, it types great, it feels good. And as someone who doesn't play competitive games, if I just was like, hey, on the rare occasion I decided to play a CS or something, I like how they changed the gun mechanics in this, by the way. Did you notice this is different?
Yeah, they did a big update and added a lot of
and the reloads are different and everything. Yeah. I heard like the sounds are different. Anyways, totally off topic. But I think it feels good. Yeah, I get the thing about the plasticiness, because when you're like actually bottoming out, you can tell that there is a bit of plastic, like kind of reverb, but we're talking a $49 Hall effect keyboard. You're getting the features of really premium keyboards, and maybe you just want to try it. I know a lot of people who have a really nice mechanical keyboard, and they're like, maybe I should dip my toe into Hall effect and not spend a lot of money. This Epomaker one's a really good option to get started with, and you can do a lot with this and try different switches and get down the dangerous rabbit hole that is mechanical keyboards, but now with a whole different type of switch.
It sucks because this is almost like the next step. I know a lot of, like, I have a $200 keyboard at home, and at the office, they're not Hall effect. And there's times where I'm like, would this keyboard be better than my mechanical keyboard? And in a sense, probably yes.
So yeah, guys, now that we mess with the HE68 Lite, this is the entry point when it comes to their Hall effect keyboards. Let's go to the HE80, which has more keys, some more features, some cool keycaps, and we'll see what that one's all about and show you guys the web-based software for it. Introducing the Epomaker HE80, which comes in at $69.99 with Epomaker Magnex switches. This is a 75% compact keyboard with 82 keys. It does come with Hall effect switches, as mentioned before, the 8,000 hertz polling rate, 32K scan rate, per key programmable RGB backlighting, and creamy gasket mount design with 4 layers of sound dampening materials.
Creamy gasket mount.
They say creamy. When I hear creamy, I expect a good typing experience. We'll see.
That is true. I do like, whenever I hear the term creamy, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good.
But yeah, this one is the black version as well. I think you can get it in white, just like the previous one, the HE68 Lite, you can get in black as well. I'm not sure if we mentioned that.
Whoa, we kind of get like an upgraded cable. It's a little bit thicker, I think. That's something crazy.
Softer
it's
braided. It's
It is
different.
like a different material. Yeah, it's not thicker though. All right.
Wait, look at the.
Oh, different
It
cable.
is different cable. Different
Whoa.
cable.
They're doing something here, but hey, it's a nice cable. Once again, though, it is USB-C to A, so you can get a different cable if you want to. We actually get some standard keycaps here, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, I'll show you guys what this looks like. We're on the office. It's kind of decisive. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but it's these translucent keycaps. So you can see the switch, which I think is pretty cool. I've always been a fan of like the retro Game Boy like translucent design. This definitely makes it where it's very see-through. There's not really even like a hint of like opaqueness. Opacity. The opacity needs to be scaled up.
Yeah, it is very, like, I'm assuming the RGB is gonna look really cool. I haven't gotten to really see it. This one's definitely heavier, which could just be, you know, contributed to the fact that it's a larger keyboard, but it feels like it's a good amount heavier to me. Oh, this one has flip out feet. You know, that's a feature that, I feel like a boomer for saying it, I like having flip out feet. I like being able to change the height because me personally, I run my keyboards at the highest setting. I don't know if that's good at all, but that's just how I like it.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Yeah, build quality, definitely still plastic, but much sturdier. I will say it feels like very well manufactured, well put together. Again, it's not gonna slide around. Looking pretty good right there.
Yeah.
And then the switches.
Dude, these are really cool, like see-through bottom. So these are the same brand as before. They're the, how would you say it again, Jonah?
Haimu.
Haimu. So Haimu, H-A-I-M-U. And yeah, the bottom's see-through. And actually, oh, the top is too. It's kind of translucent all the way around. It's pretty cool, transparent. Once again, box switch. Not actually pulling out. See if we can pull one of these out just as easy as before.
Hey,
like
there you go.
It is crazy how easy Hall Effect comes out.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about bending stems anymore.
Now you gotta tell me, is it creamy?
I mean, dude, it's
Here, let's put this back on here. We got cream.
creamy. It's not as stocky. The other one had a lower, deeper pitch. This one's a little bit higher. It creams.
It creams. It creams, he says. Let me see. Let's say an initial impression.
Nice.
Yeah, this feels closer to just like a normal Focky keyboard, but it is Hall Effect, so I always expect a little bit of, I don't know, like super linearness is not the word I'm looking for, where there's just not a lot of like smoothness there. There's still a, you know, less friction because of an actual mechanical switch.
I gotta say too, give it a little tap for me. Good stabilizers. There's no springiness to them or anything really.
I don't know if I like the material of this.
It's very smooth compared to the keycaps that have a little bit of texture to them. I kind of want to see, I want to see what it looks like. I feel like this should be really bright. You
Where
know?
the cable at? Yeah, I think this
there
part's
we
gonna be interesting because I'm curious to see with them just being the accent keys, it's gonna look kind of, you know,
Weird.
out there or weird, but there it goes.
Okay, so Jonah's already set this one to purple, which
the same thing I did
it's actually-
before.
It's a pretty good color scheme, yeah. Looks pretty cool. I mean, you can definitely see the light better through these, but it's just the fact that like it's a focused LED. So instead of like the keycap kind of dispersing the light and hiding it, honestly, it's not hidden, but it does kind of make me wish that there was almost like more LEDs, which I don't think that's really reasonable to ask with these transparent keycaps.
Is this max brightness?
Yes.
And normally in general too, we just got done looking at a white keyboard. Those keyboards tend to be brighter because it just bounces the light much better. So
No, it's interesting, but hey, on the bright side, it's like if you don't like it, I mean,
it comes with that.
It's free.
But yeah, speaking of free, the web-based software, which we will go to in just a second, but we talked about the creaminess and thockiness. Let's do a little typing test, and then we'll show you guys what you can do in the web-based software. This is the web-based software. It is currently not in English, but once you click on this, it'll pop up. There's the HE80. It connects.
Okay.
Now, this took a little bit more navigation than before. I think it was...
English.
There it is, right there. Boom.
Easy enough.
Just like that.
Okay, and then one thing Jonah wanted us to remind you of, because we did this before, we're the toasters, we don't have scripts, we do everything out of order. Function, and then these guys here should change, which we'll just test it out, yeah. So you can actually change the stuff just like before without having to use software, but obviously, if you want to get into the nitty gritty like we've talked about, where you want to go and change actuations like that, you got to use either the web-based or software.
Now the web base looks very simple.
Simple.
Not much going on here. You have the basic character customization, lighting settings.
Stuff.
Yep, function stuff.
So okay, there's lighting.
Lighting modes.
A lot of stuff.
Yep.
We have the macro manager where you can go through and you can create macros. Like before, you can record inputs and have them play based on what things you press. And then yeah, you can go through and you can select each individual switch, or you can do all of them. And look, it changed the language.
I like that it changes.
But yeah, you can do like fast triggers. So I guess if you wanted to just barely press it, and it'll actuate. So that's pretty cool. Keep that off for now. Let's see, advanced keys. Oh, well, look at all this. This is where the fun stuff. Yeah, we got Rappy, Snappy, SOCD, DKS. We have dual effect click MT, so that's a single key can achieve 2 functions. Holding is one, clicking is another.
So DKS can do up to 4 functions.
Wow.
So you have dual and then the dynamic mode.
And then we also have toggle switch, which clicking the key can toggle continuous triggering on or off. That feels like there's some like cookie clicker. Yeah, dude, you could get a lot of cookies in that game.
I will say, and it's important to mention, some of these have definitely been ways you get banned in games.
Yes.
Especially as you can imagine. So use it with your own caution. The feature exists, but just know the game you're playing, you're at risk of stuff happening.
Yep. No advantage is free. And then obviously if you go to settings, we can do updates. Let's see, we can do, oh, that's cool, we can do dark mode.
Theme,
oh,
nice.
Sick. We can also do, this is cool, adaptive dynamic calibration, which is a beta, so it's active during keyboard use. Calibration adjustments will be made continuously, so that's kind of wild. So I guess if it notices maybe you're not pressing key down all the way, but you're actuating it, it'll automatically change the actuation.
Nice.
Kind of wild. And then obviously we have some updates here as well. We're on the latest version.
Yay! So yeah, software, pretty straightforward. We went really in depth with the downloadable software, but this one, again, web-based, really cool to be able to not have anything saved on your computer. And again, you don't need to use it at all. You could just set it, forget it, and be done. Let's go ahead and game on this, and then we'll come to a conclusion about both of these keyboards.
We're back in CS, and we are now testing out our HE80, and yeah, this is definitely primo. I gotta say, these are starting to grow on me. I know that we were talking about like them being a little bit like more slick, but now that I'm like playing it, I'm like, my fingers don't move that much. I'm not like sliding off of it, honestly. And it does look kind of cool. I like the color scheme Jonah picked with the purple. It looks pretty good. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, these are really interesting because I'm not used to this type of linear Hall effect switch where it almost just feels like it's kind of heavy at first, but I think this could grow on me. I could kind of see it. It's definitely not like smooth throughout the whole entire travel. It starts off with a little bit more force than normal, almost like a Cherry MX Black switch. It's a little bit of a heavier switch, but it's pretty cool, and I like the sound. It's good. It's not super like, some of these Thocky keyboards are like louder. Well, did I just, did I left-handed?
You did the left-handed flip. What's the keybind for that?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a F or G or something.
I was just like, you flipped.
Dude, I just mirrored everything. I've noticed a lot of the Thocky keyboards, I don't know if you noticed this, Matt, but like they're almost louder than a blue switch sometimes. Yeah. Like the bottom out is so loud that I'm starting to almost be like, maybe these are getting too loud again, because I started to hate blue switches because of how loud they were. So I like that this one isn't like super loud when you're typing on it.
I like the back and forth swap. Yeah.
So it must be
my turn to game on the keyboard, and I will say I can feel the fact that these do feel heavier than the previous ones. It's probably the biggest reason why there is a difference. Obviously, these are different switches. They're not the same ones in the HE68 Lite, and just like every other mechanical switch, there's going to be different feels that work better for others. And I think them going for the creaminess of it, trying to make the typing experience better, probably made it to where it has some interesting feels when it comes to using like WASD and just gaming on them. But running around and everything, I do like the keycaps. Now I'm on spacebar and everything. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Now, if I had some slimy fingers, which it could happen, I could see it getting a little.
Imagine throw gamer goop on.
A little gamer goop. No, this does feel good, and having the height adjustments really solid. The backlight looks good, and.
Oh, you can tell him too. I forgot. I didn't really talk about it, but Jonah changed the actuation.
What are we at, Jonah?
We're at 0.5 on the WASDA and then 1 on everything else.
So there you go. So now we have a much faster actuation, and we're able to do that with the web-based software. It used to be such a sweaty thing back in the day. I remember watching like CS, CS source montages of people running like left-handed. I'm just like, craziness. But hey, Keyboard. This is really solid. I really like it. I think for those who are looking for a bigger size keyboard and don't really want a 68 key keyboard, spending the extra money on this is really good. And again, it's hot swappable, so you can put whatever switches you want in it, and the software works great. So let's go and bring all these keyboards back to the main set and wrap this video up and tell you more about where you can buy these keyboards, because you know what? Epomaker was nice enough to sponsor it, but there's some really awesome keyboards for the price, and Hall Effect is really cool.
Every time we do these keyboard videos, it really reminds me about how far we have come from 2014 when we started filming these YouTube videos, when gaming keyboards were honestly pretty awful compared to now.
And it's really cool to see a company like Epomaker making really awesome Hall Effect keyboards for gamers who want to get into the Hall Effect space without totally breaking the bank. So when we want to learn more and save some money on your purchase of one of these keyboards, check the links in the description down below. They will be affiliate links and they will help us out. Let us know what you think of Hall Effect keyboards, more specifically these Epomaker keyboards. And are you guys investing in this space? Let us know down below.
But as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So these keyboards right here will both be for sale at PCBros.tech for a pretty darn good price in person.
PCBros.tech, if you guys didn't know, we have a physical store in Louisville, Kentucky. You can come in and buy peripherals, monitors, and also our awesome gaming PCs that are also available online. And if you use code TOASTYBROS on checkout, you will save 3% in your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.